Yes,
Hey,
sir.
yeah, absolutely. Add some energy. Blind spots. Like and subscribe and comment. Um, Dang, 6 weeks in. I was just thinking about this when I was taking my dog outside. It's like, man, it
I flew.
the time moves. Yeah, it's not moving any slower. I know people say that life moves fast, but like I'll be like, man, 80 years is a long time. Like, but 6 weeks went by like this. I don't know where we even went. Yeah, it's starting to get hot
Yeah,
again.
bruh. It like what's the same thing we talked about? I talked about last week. It was 43 degrees this morning. I put on this white tee and like I had like a jean button down and nah, I had to take that mug off. I was like, oh, it's kind of hot. It's kind of
Yeah,
hot. It's not gonna work.
I'm actually like on. I know this is gonna be some weird shit, but I'm like training for a half marathon, and I started
13 miles.
13.1, and I started yesterday, and I think my first run. It wasn't very bad. It was like 30 minutes, but it was in the middle of the day, like 1 o'clock. Oh my gosh. And I'm glad this thing is actually it's not until October. So it
So
shouldn't
you got
be
you got
as
time.
hot. Yeah, yeah, because what I'm actually doing on the Nike Run app is um I'm training for an actual marathon. So they have like this 18-week program where it's like train for a marathon. I figured if I can train for a marathon, then I should be able to run
It'll be a
a half
breeze.
marathon. Yeah, so stupid stuff, but that's where I'm starting. Since I've been injured, I'm getting back to running again. So it's like, man, this shit fucking
And,
sucks right
and
now.
like you said, it's summertime. It's starting to heat up, and the race ain't till October. So you gonna be straight. You know what I'm saying? You train you basically in a sauna suit. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying? You
bad.
good. So by the time October went around, cake.
Yeah, yeah. And
We have
how's
a
Atlanta?
bubble fun run. We have a bubble fun run next weekend. I think it's a
Okay.
5K.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
in
did
no
like
shape. I'm in no shape to run even a 5K. I'm my wife is like, we don't have to run.
yeah,
We're
you
gonna
can
run a
walk
little
walk
bit. And
it.
I'm like, I don't think I got it. I don't think I got it. Well, I'll be there.
I, I ran my first 5K, I think it was last year or maybe the year before that. I think it was last year though. And running with people is so much easier than running by yourself. I ran a time with
Well, that's
them
facts.
that I never ever ran in the middle of like getting ready
Hey,
for it.
you just pick out that guy and be like, he's not beating
Yeah, that and then like
me.
people, it's like it's a weird community shit. Like it made me like I get a little bit emotional over silly shit, and so it's like it's mad colors and creeds and shit,
You got
and
those
it's
people on the
like
side with the water cups. Hey, like, you'll be all
yeah,
right. You'll make it.
but other people running will just like latch on for you with you for like a quarter mile, and y'all will be like running buddies, and then maybe they move on, and then you latch on to someone else, and then y'all like motivate each other, and it's
Yeah.
like, man, this shit is beautiful for this 30 minutes, 24 minutes that I'm out here, and it's right back to fucking hating each other again. It's like, fuck, if we could just
Yeah.
take this microcosm right here and just spread it, it was like, oh man, it'd be beautiful. But
the
yeah,
the Rainbow Coalition 5K.
it- there it is. There it is. That's some pretty shit. But yeah, enough of the sad. Nothing is sad or nothing is happy. Everything is
Well,
fucked up.
well, shit. I mean, we might as well just go right to it. We're already there.
It wasn't even meant to be a segue that way, but it ended up that way. You
You
know
ain't
what?
gotta think about it. It just comes
What
natural.
what I'll start with this situation is I um one of the things that I'd love to say I got from Bomani is like I don't do recreational sadness. So like whenever something like this happens, like I really do my best to avoid it. Like I'll stay off social
That's facts.
media and I don't want to see any videos. Like I'm past that point. Like I don't want to I just knowing about it is enough to break my heart. I don't gotta like put myself through like trauma porn. But like
Mm-hmm.
so I heard about this and I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, like
No,
it has
no.
been a rough month from all these shootings and then this shit. And it's like, luckily he's still good and he's still here and he'll be able to hopefully he'll be
Yeah.
able to like perform how he was like gonna perform and over like shenanigans like
Yeah.
like
That's the so talk about this Ralph Yarl situation. What 16-year-old kid, 16, 17,
yeah, I know he's in high
teenager,
school.
high school age kid was shot ringing a neighbor's doorbell to get
Went
his
on,
little
went on the
brothers.
wrong street.
Wrong, one street over, almost cost him his life. Um, yeah, when I saw it, I didn't. I still haven't actually clicked anything about it.
Yeah.
Listened to a pod that was talking about it, but other than that, I haven't done any real research on it. I just like I just stayed away. I was like, okay, well, you know, that's we're bound to get one. I don't know when was the last one that we had this year, so it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I guess we were due. So, but it's sad. I mean, of course, it's one of those things where you think about. Well, I'll speak for myself. I'm just thinking about like, okay, I got a kid, I got a daughter, I want a son, I got nephews, I got I got nephews who are now older brothers who will in 10 years be going to pick up their you know 10-year-old little brothers from
Sibling.
so it just feels nasty to even have to like fathom or like have to like, oh yeah, that can happen. like it's just another scenario in which, okay, so if you mess up and go to the wrong house and ring the doorbell, that'll cost you. If you're running through a neighborhood and checking out some houses, that'll cost you. It's like,
If you
all
sit on a
right.
bench playing with a toy gun.
Play with a toy gun, that'll cost you. If you're strolling through your dad's apartment complex with some Skittles in Arizona, that'll cost you. And it's just like, okay, cool. So the guy was, he was brought in, released, I think a couple hours later, was what they said. A
Yeah.
couple hours later, and went back home, had a nap. And then I guess, I don't know why they decided to go ahead and bring him in, but they did. And he's now
You know what I
facing
think?
some serious charges.
I think it was social media for real. Like the first
Oh, it could have
like
been
I
that. Social media is fake.
it's so funny because like in my best attempts to stay away from it, that's what I kept seeing. Like I kept seeing the picture. And
Hmm.
so and then it was almost like people were reposting the same like posts. Or
Hmm.
not reposting it, but like copying and pasting it and posting it themselves and then sharing it. And I seen that shit so many times. And then literally the next day I get the CNN blast and I posted on my Instagram. I was like, man, that was that social media working because I didn't know nothing about it. Then I knew everything about it. And
Right.
then there was a slap on the wrist. And I was like, damn, that worked faster than I thought. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'm discouraged by social media. I feel like, or the internet in general. Like, was this shit a mistake? I think of this like every other day,
This
and then shit like this happens. I'm like, this is how social media is supposed to
is
work.
what we're
Like,
supposed to be doing with
yeah,
this
this is
power.
like there is a
Absolutely.
little bit of hope. Yeah, the part ironically enough, when you were talking about like having younger brothers and siblings and cousins, or nephews rather, it made me think of like all the times I probably did that because I got a younger brother that's closer to me. Like we're like 3 years apart, but I
Yeah.
got two other younger ones right now. One that's 19. Well, I have five younger ones in general,
Right.
but they range from 26 down to 15. You know, and I remember one time me going to some lady's house because I uh I had his Game Boy and we were both playing. We were in this apartment complex that was like for single women and there was like a Y in the middle, like for
Mm-hmm.
kids to wait for the bus and shit like that. And I was playing with a kid's Game Boy. He left without it, but I knew where he lived because we all lived in the same shit. So I walked down there to give it to him, and she like his mama came out and like was mad at me and yelling at me and like accusing me to steal it. and I didn't really. I was like 5 or something. And I remember thinking
See,
like, why would I come here if I was gonna steal it? Like I'd have just kept it, you know. And then my mom came back because I was sad, and then she went and cursed the lady out. And I'm like, man, that shit could have went so left just from the shit
hey,
we just found out. It could have been some shit like that where it's like, oh, he doing shenanigans because, of course, let's
of
just blame
course
it
he
on.
is.
Yeah, he's
Of
got to
course
be.
he is.
He ain't even
Why would
open the
he be
door.
here? And that's the sick shit about it. It's like my dog didn't even he ain't cracked the door. He like and literally that's he shot through the glass from the door. That's insane. It's just like so you really and then opened the door and shot again. It was like up. And it's just like what is going on? Like I don't understand how this is. I don't know. Understand how this is a thing. I don't understand why we still got to deal with stuff like this, but it is the reality. And yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like there's no way to tell anybody to defend themselves for it, or there's no way to tell like nobody needs to stop doing what they're doing. You didn't do anything wrong.
It's
Like
so random.
there's there's
It's so random.
it's literally there's no even like there's no comfort or like new light or advice you can shed on it because it's literally just like I don't know. Like there's even the respectability factor where it's like okay, well this why would be telling y'all not to wear them hoodies, telling y'all to put your pants. It's like oh there's no thing you can say where it's like
James Blake, professional tennis player, got profiled outside of his hotel at the U.S. Open, and he's a tennis player, so he was wearing like some polo or some some shit, and they slammed him in front of the hotel. Like,
yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like okay, I guess maybe this is another one of our myriad of perfect victims, and just thank God he's actually alive. But once again, this is so he didn't. There's nothing wrong with him. He's not like he doesn't have any pictures throwing up the middle finger that we've seen yet. If you guys haven't dug up yet, don't he doesn't have any videos of him smoking or anything that you guys dug up yet. So all we got
my
is a picture with him and his saxophone being a great kid. And so what are we gonna do now?
yeah, it's this is I I knew they wasn't really playing fair before, but
Oh,
when what was it? I think it was Philando Castile. He was
well,
the registered gun owner.
mm-hmm.
That was him, and I was
Not a
like,
peep.
when they killed him, and in the video, he's like telling them, like, look, before y'all go to tripping, cause I'm trying to get my license.
Mm-hmm.
My shit is in here. I'm not doing nothing. I'm a registered gun owner. I
Mm-hmm.
can show you all that. And they lit him up with his kid in the car, with his child's mother in the car, and I'm like, when that happened, and I was like, because
That's
they be saying shit like, comply. And it's like, what the fuck was? I thought that was what you was supposed to do. Like,
forthright. Not only is he complying, he's forthright. Like it's like
yeah,
I'm not even like I'm complying before you even get a chance. Like and it's still so it's just like these are one of these cases where it's like okay it's lined up exactly the way you want it, guys. Can we get how about some justice here? And of course there's no
yeah,
justice for the kid possibly having life altering injuries. There's no real
yeah,
justice for that. It's just like okay, so it's so unfortunate. It's just all around bad because it's like okay cool y'all didn't. There's not going to be any legislation. There was no legislation around George Floyd, and the whole country was on fire. Uh, there's no legislation around any of the mass shootings. So they're not. They're definitely not going to be like, okay, well, we need to amend these castle doctrine laws or whatever these stand your ground laws or anything like that. There's not going to be any movement there because we've seen they won't move when it's a whole bunch of younger white children. They won't move when they just so it's like it's one of those things where it's just like I don't know, guys. Just I don't know. Maybe go with your kid next time if possible. I don't know. It's like it's just nothing you can say. It's nothing. There's no silver lining or anything to come out on top of this one. It's just like thank God the boy is alive. Thank God Ralph survived.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
really just
That's
it.
ill. Yeah, that's pretty ill. Yeah, yeah. That that's one of those ones. And now, I've read up a little bit on it and heard quite a bit on them now. So it doesn't feel like there will be any weird pictures because I know it's always bad faith actors around this time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I usually just stay away from it anyways. But hopefully there isn't no shenanigans. Now I would probably say on the other side of shenanigans, that there seems to be more that we were hoping that there wasn't.
Ah,
Making a lot of people look crazy, maybe including us a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird things where it's like I don't want the John Major shit to be true for my own selfishness, and I actually saw something accidentally on Facebook. And it was I don't know who it was. It was a woman or a male. It didn't have a Avi. And they were like, see, it's
so
what I be
Russian
trying to.
spy bot.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like I really believe that shit. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I really believe that shit. But the person was like, "It's what I be trying to tell my son, so he don't get caught up." And so I'm thinking it's about to be some beautiful shit. Like, yeah, you're not supposed to put your hands on women. You're supposed to treat them with respect. And the person was like, yeah, we gotta, you gotta stay away from them and all this. And I was like, that's what you telling him? Like you ain't telling him to not be putting his hands on him? Like, cause like
There's
he's not
so
in.
much more you could tell them. There's so much more you can tell them before you get to the. And then don't mess with because it's just make sure we respect them. Don't put your hands on them. So
Yeah,
it's a laundry list. It's a laundry
yeah,
list. Try not
uh,
to argue with them. Don't raise your voice too loud. Don't raise your hand. Don't blah 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 blah. There's we can go a long way before we get to. And don't trust them because this stuff might happen. You will get caught up. Like, I don't know if that's the takeaway from this situation.
that's the Dr. Umar school.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm. Look, I support. Same race relations. I am an advocate. I want all black men to have a black woman, wife, hell,
Yeah,
uh, a black partner. If you into that, just you know, just black. I love black love, so I want all black people to be with black people.
that's a fact.
But when there are issues like this, I don't think that we should automatically go there. And I understand the notion too, and the want to, because I be like,
Yeah,
I be trying to go there too, and I gotta tell myself not to. But yeah, no, it's not the one. You gotta be able to discern. Like that's not what we need right now. It's not what we need right now. Just respect all the ladies, please. And it's the thing too with John Major specifically. So he got dropped from his what? His PR, his public
yeah.
relations, and
His
then his management dropped him. Long term
yeah,
management team dropped him. Uh, and of course, when that happened, we were like, okay, there's something coming down the pipe.
it's gotta
We
be.
got some more going on. It's something else. Uh, and then today, maybe an hour or so before we started recording, Variety published a story that multiple alleged victims are starting to come forth. I still would like to know what the alleged abuse was, because I can't adequately assess what I need to do without knowing. Like if he's a dickhead and he's a womanizer and he's cheating and he's just being an asshole. Okay, I'm here. I'll be here. If you are putting your hands on people, verbally abusing people, all this extra shit, like putting people through the ringer of abuse. Nah, bro, we can't rock with that. Yeah, as much as I want to, for my own selfish reasons, like I can't be a hypocrite on that one. I gotta bail out. I gotta pull the parachute on this guy and be like, all right, well, I'm not going down with the ship on this one. So it's like I would just like to know what he's being accused of, and I'm sure at the rate these things are happening now, we got 2 updates in a week. I thinking it'll be here by Friday. We'll have our first like Jonathan Majors did this. It's like, oh yeah, no, he
Vanity
ain't gonna make
Fair, man.
it. Yeah.
Vanity Fair, man. That's where it's gonna
Yeah.
be. Behind a
It's tough,
paywall.
man. It's tough, bruh. Yeah, it's
Oh
tough,
man.
man. It's super tough because you want to support dude and you want the best outcome for it, but you know, maybe the best outcome really is, you know, everything that's happening right now. So it is the being dropped from everything, and he's already lost a few movies, and
Fuck, he lost
maybe it.
movies.
Yeah. He lost. So there was a
Did they shoot the Dennis
man.
Rodman joint yet?
They haven't shot the Dennis Rodman joint yet, but he hasn't been dropped from that one. There was another one, and it was like, oh, he would be perfect for that character, and I forgot who it was. But there was like two different movies that he had been dropped from, and he still got, of course, the Magazine Dreams movie that's supposed to be coming out. That he did with well, it's Disney bought it via Searchlight, so via their
Oh
Fox
wow.
subsidiary.
Yeah.
Disney went out and bought it, so he's all tied in. And it's supposed to
Yep.
be coming out. It's supposed to be coming out around Christmas time. But the thing that I find is crazy about this is he is. It's basically like, from everything I've seen about it, it's like a black man's Joker. Like, it's literally like he's just like he's playing this like troubled, bodybuilder guy. I think Taylor Page, the chick from the Kendrick
Oh,
Lamar
the
video.
Kendrick. Yeah.
Yeah, she's supposed to be his love interest, but he's like there's like some abuse elements in there where it's like, so it's supposed to be a
There's a
dark
joke here.
movie,
There's a joke
and
here.
it's, hey man,
Is he acting?
and
Method.
that's literally that's so
That's a bad joke.
that's been Karina's critique the whole time. It's just like, you know,
He's method acting.
how how sick is it to be abused by a person and then see them, do
Doing
these
it on film.
interviews, and
Oh,
but like doing these interviews where we're talking about, I guess where it was
masculinity is
soft
kind.
masculinity and all these things, and saying all the right
Mm.
things, and then playing this character that you know very well. We're all trying to see how his turn as a villain is gonna go. You know him very well, and you see this and you're getting those flashbacks, but then you're seeing the interviews and you're like, this nigga is psychotic, and it's just like,
He's a sociopath if
uh,
that's the case. He's a wild
ah,
boy.
yeah, it's
He's
tough. It's tough because I just want him to be innocent, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, once all this happens, and once there's like multiple victims at this point, no, I need you to be guilty, because we can't take we can't give anybody any fodder to be like, I told you these bitches be lying. It's like, oh well, I guess like you gotta.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
now I need it to be true for other reasons. It's like, I just hope it's not like, I hope it's not the big one. I hope it's just not, hope it's not anything that you can't come back from. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. I'm keeping hope alive. I thought we had one. I was really hoping we had one.
That
But
shit be throwing me that shit throws me off. Like, how in the fuck does that happen? Like, sometimes it like like, and this is just like on some like, I can't expect niggas to just be good human beings, but because to be good, but like, all right, it's mad shit at stake right now. Like,
mm-hmm.
everything, and like, secretly it's already niggas that want you to lose, and you gave it to them. Like, you just gave it.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go.
Shit.
We're moving through these topics. We're moving through these topics. So in the vein of, niggas want you to lose. People are counting on you fucking up. Don't give it to them. What the fuck is going on with Draymond, bro? What's going on with Draymond, bro? I understand he's got the player option. I understand. So he's got to get paid regardless. But what are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
He was
If
trying
you
to get one more deal. He was trying to get one
if
more deal.
if you're up for one more deal, you have your player option, so you're secured. But you're up
He
for
was
one
already
more,
skating.
and you're talking on your new media about how, what the size of your contract need to be and what you're expecting. You are bringing the contract talks to the forefront, and you punch your teammate, not a guy. You punch your up and coming star teammate who just got
Yeah.
his big payday. you clean him at practice. Obviously somebody wants you out because of video leaks. Uh, and you have a season of ups and downs where it's like, okay, the stat line is good, but how many times have you been in the mix for stuff like this through just this season alone? And then we get to the playoffs, and you guys are fighting for your lives. Y'all are fighting for your lives. Y'all wasn't even supposed to win last year. Everybody is amazed that you were able to pull it off. You did it, and now we're hoping. We're not really hoping, but we're like, hey, you can't get them out. They are the defending champs. They have pedigree, blah 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 blah, and you show your pedigree, which is just, hey, nigga, I'm gonna do some dirty shit. Like I just,
His pedigree is his ass. That's what he was showing. This nigga. It's one of the wildest clips I've ever seen on an
I don't.
actual basketball court. Like, I'm like, I understand when motherfuckers be like, your reputation precedes you, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
it makes me look at it different. Like, I can easily see where somebody grabbing your foot and you accidentally step on them, but it looked different when you sprang off them for real. Like, it looked like it maybe it didn't look like he really stomped them, but it definitely looked like he jumped off of it. Like, that was the shit
He
was like, nigga, what the
you
fuck?
had to drive your foot down to jump off like that. So it's like
Exactly.
so whether or not you actually stomp with force, you at least planted with force, like where you
Yeah, I was
like
gonna
to where
say
you could.
maybe it started off harmless, and then it was like, fuck it, I gotta turn this hoe up.
And it's just like that thing where it's like, oh, he did the rock stomp where you flick your ankle a little bit, you put a little bit more on. It's just like, well, you don't have to do that, dog. And it's just like, okay, so like you said, sometimes there are these scenarios. Somebody grab your leg and you about to fall over, and you might step on them. That's different from you literally like doing the marching 100 like drum major step on the nigga. Like, what are you doing? And like they are baiting you. You understand the role that you play on the team. It's the same thing with Dylan Brooks. They are going after you to try to make you mess up. If you the heart and soul of the team, if you are really, the DNA like that, they're of course targeting you because you have a history. And it's just really weird to see all the different angles of this video. And of course, Sabonis is not. Yeah, he grabbed his ankle. He threw Clay before he grabbed Dre's ankle, so he's not in any way clean. But to see everybody like run to Draymond's defense, like, oh, he don't deserve no suspension. He don't deserve it. Like, in what world can you stomp on another man's chest and just be allowed to come back to work the next? Like, no, bro. Like, you sit this one out, dog. Especially if you have a history of this, which is what the NBA said they factored in. It's
I'm
what
gonna
Joe
say
Dumars said he factored in.
the only thing that does bother me, I will say this, is I maybe he deserves to be suspended, but I don't know how I feel about you getting kicked out of a game and then having to sit. That shit bothers me a little bit because it's
Mm-hmm.
like it bothers me a little bit because like, man, I feel like it's done. Like, now I will say this: if Sabonis don't play the game 3, then I would probably think sit him. Like, my instinct would be
Yeah.
like, shit, it's a guy for a guy. But if Sabonis plays game 3, fuck it.
So what
He
was his
got
plan?
kicked out of kick him out of you kicked him out of a game already. Like, you remember, you know what, the NFL used to do something where it's like Tuesdays you would get fines, right? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
after the week starts. It used to always bother me when there would be a hit that did not get flagged, and then they would get
and they
fined
and they
for
fine
the
for
flag on Tuesday. Because it's like, the flag don't mean shit if it don't come with it, if it's not a penalty. So it's like, all right, well, yeah, yards matter, but it's like, bruh, this shit was, maybe it wasn't legal, but y'all missed it. All right, I
right.
got away with it. You know what I'm saying? That's y'all fault. Y'all doing y'all job just like we doing ours. And now I gotta now I gotta suffer it because motherfuckers would go look back at it. It wasn't
Hey,
enough
they
for a
had they
flag. Why y'all?
we added another step. We added another step to our job. We go
And
back to
and and
review
slow
everything now.
and slow motions be making shit look worse. Like, sometimes shit don't even be
Slow
that
motion does
bad,
make
and
shit look worse.
it makes
It's the
shit
Dave
look
Chappelle bit.
worse.
It's the Dave
Yes.
Chappelle skit. When you slow everything down, everything looks crazy in slow motion.
Yo, it like, sometimes it be so like, I'm trained in football now to see it, but sometimes the game moves so fast. that shit don't be looking like it was intentional. And it's maybe because them niggas is like $1 million athletes, like 1%. Where
Yeah,
it's like I could make some shit look like it's intentional or not intentional when it is.
right.
But drain that nigga. When he kicked that dude in the nuts years ago,
And that's the thing. It's like
the whole leg was up. Like like
Draymond went
bro.
on a nut. Even it was 7 years ago, but Draymond went on a nut kicking spree. Like
Yeah.
it was literally like back to back. It was just knocking niggas balls loose. I don't understand what was. That's what happened when he did. He tried to do it to LeBron. So it's like
Yeah, when LeBron, because LeBron wasn't walking over him, you was rolling around on his ankles, and he's trying to move out the
he
way,
tried to.
and then you stand
That's
up.
But that's what it looks like when you're trying to get off of somebody, like when you're stepping around somebody who is doing extra shit on your ankles. That's what it looks like. I'm
Yeah,
gonna step over you, and now you gotta do all this extra shit. The same way it looked when Sabonis pulled Draymond down, and then Draymond tried to get back up, and then he reached his arm around him again, and it's like, okay, yeah, we peep all this extra shit. So in that moment, you were trying. Hey man, the
and it
nigga.
was two more things. It was two more things that really set it off.
Nigga.
Dre never helps anyone
Oh
up. He does
God,
the
man.
foul shit, and he never. If I was to accidentally knock you over, I would be like, "Oh my bad, I try to help you
My
up."
bad, bro.
He just walks away, and it's like, and then after he's in the middle of it, he's going crazy like this is wrestling or some shit. He's like
But that's
circling
the
the fucking ring. He's doing
that's
all
the
this shit.
thing.
I'm like,
We
Trey,
love
come on, bro, you gotta relax.
we love characters, but when Trey did that to the Knicks after breaking their heart, it was literally after his like world class performance that we thought was gonna put him in this superstardom thing, and like that's when you do that shit. You don't do that shit after you like stomp on a
Get
nigga's
kicked out of a
chest.
game.
Like, no, that's not how that works, nigga. Like, that's not. You didn't just put up 50, bro. Like, that's not. You guys lost the game. Like,
Wrong
no,
sport. In wrestling, you'd
no,
be right
bro.
at home.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He really needs to take that into consideration for the offseason, which will be coming up soon for his squad. Yeah. He'll be in Cancun soon enough, and when you get back stateside, go ahead, try to do some WWE things. I'm pretty sure that would be great promo. It really would. I think he does this next season, but I think he should turn this into some promo for new media.
You
Like
know what's
just
funny?
go
You know what's
and do
funny?
some training.
He already works at TNT, and they got AEW over at TNT. So
Bing.
shit, it's a seamless. You feel me? So he could
Hey,
just
if
he
y'all
just
if
work at
y'all
AEW.
need me, if y'all need me to come through and help y'all with some branding ideas, let me know. TNT, AEW, holla at your boy. I got some ideas.
I would imagine writing for wrestling would be just the theater
Well, do
of it
they
all.
do
It's
that?
just
Is it still as wild as it used to be? Like where they like dropping niggas off of bridges and shit, like running
nah.
niggas limousines, blowing up people's limousines and shit.
I really thought that nigga was dead. I really thought that nigga was dead. I was convinced at like 10. I was like, they just killed somebody on TV.
They
They
killed
just
him on
killed somebody
TV.
on TV. They just I just watched this guy die. But nah, here's they make it I think they make it what is like PG-13 or TV 14 whatever.
Yeah,
So like you don't see blood for the most part, and ironically enough, when I was at WrestleMania, Edge was facing Finn Balor, and they were doing a tables, ladder, chairs match or whatever. Or it was in a cage, but it had tables and shit. And Edge threw a fucking ladder and split Finn Balor's shit from like here to like right here, big nasty cut. If you could put it in one of these clips, throw it in there. But it was split, and they had to like kind of stop the match. They went and cleaned them up. Them niggas stayed in character and finished the match. And I was like, nah, these niggas are stupid pros.
that's
Cause
crazy.
I'd have been out of character. Like if I threw a ladder at somebody, and I split them open, I'd go over there and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I just
Especially
did
if that's
that.
not what we do no more. We don't do this no more. Oh,
Yeah.
oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like,
And that nigga they cleaned them up a little bit and they continued to fight. And I was like, and they gave him a really good match. With He had to get like 17 staples or some crazy shit. Yeah, so nah, the wrestling
incredible.
is it's just the storylines and the writing and Yeah, it's like
So
buff nigga what do you call that? Soap
soap
opera.
operas.
Yeah.
so so
But
so
oily niggas.
so we got speaking of storylines, we got these Lakers here who started 2-10, fought their way back into the
I got the
playoff
game on right
picture.
here.
Yeah, hey, fought their way back, and they doing their thing. Um, so I think the NBA has some nice storylines to it. You got those guys over there. You got Chris Paul in the hunt, finally defeating his ref rival last night.
Scott Foster.
He finally defeated the demon. Um,
Damn it.
we're making history. We're making history this playoff series. Um,
It's like the two gangbangers with the blood and the crip and they holding up too. That's Scott Foster and Chris
the
Paul last night.
the Kendrick Lamar cover.
Yeah, they figured it out. Yeah, I was talking about this with somebody that how this playoffs like every series feels compelling except for the Denver one. That one feels like it's looking real sweepish. But
Man,
everything else, I mean, my team's Miami. Giannis didn't play tonight. And I'm like,
hey,
oh, if we could get this other dub and take it back to the crib,
go ahead and sneak them. Go ahead and get. You already snuck the one. Go ahead and grab this one.
because I have to go to Orlando this week, but I already said it before this weekend rather. But if I hadn't gone, I was like, if Miami somehow finds a way to win this game, I was gonna go to Miami Saturday. I was gonna go to the game, but now there's a every man, they're all so good. Fucking
Yeah, no.
Golden
This
State is on
this
the
is where
ropes.
it's like, okay, the NBA is back. All right, cool. I enjoy this. This is where it's like any team can take off. This is where it was, you know, we were wondering if Cleveland, if LeBron was going to ever, take Cleveland all the way, but he ran through the Wizards and then ended up getting chopped down by the Celtics and shit. Like this is that era where it's like, all right, cool. Let's see what the remnants of these Pistons are going to be able to do. Will Carmelo get out of the first round? Will like this is now where we get into this point. And I guess if we had to do a one of one, the Warriors would be what the Spurs were, where it's like, okay, this team that has this system, blah 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 blah, and they got their one superstar, and everybody else just plays their role to the best. And Steve Kerr is this now legendary coach, and their better days are behind them, but can they make it? What will they do? And it's just like, all right, cool. You got the young up and comers who are on one end smacking up the Warriors, on the other end maybe get smacked up by the Lakers. So it's like, who
True
knows?
parody. This is true parody. It's true parody. I there's a little bit of breaking news. Totally left field news, but a buddy of mine who who I talked to about sneakers a lot, big sneaker guy.
Mhm.
Um there is some news confirmed by two sources that this is the last year for Tremaine at Supreme. I know we were just talking
Mm.
about Supreme a little while ago, maybe a couple episodes, definitely a couple episodes ago, but we've talked about it a few episodes where it was dead and me going to the
Yeah.
Supreme store. But apparently it says have hearing this is Tremaine's last year at Supreme. He wasn't a good fit, not even surprised. And that's not even 5 years. That's not even 2 years, maybe.
I mean, he wasn't there that long, but I don't know what a good fit at Supreme looks like. Like I don't. What does a good fit at
Was that?
Supreme do?
That's what I'm
So,
thinking. Like,
he didn't get the right collabs. Like I don't. They don't do shit. They just
yeah.
slap Supreme
Uh,
on shit. Like it's not.
I'm confused, man. Because the first thing I just thought, and I know it's maybe feels weird because we haven't talked about this guy in a while, but it's like, did this Kanye shit really like fuck it up for him? Like, did he really get people to stop fucking with Tremaine? Does he like not believe in himself? Is he too busy with Denim Tears, which seems to be like doing a lot of good shit?
Yeah,
How do,
focus on your shit. Focus on them tears. That's cool. Appreciate you. Like,
yeah.
if they don't want you there, cool. I don't want you there. I don't want you there. That to me cheapens you anyway. Um, somebody else can go over there and
Still,
handle that. I don't know. I don't. I
but
don't.
that
I have no inkling of why. It seems like that would be a nice. If all you got to do is slap your logo on shit, it seems like he would be a nice figurehead. Maybe he's not pretty enough. I don't know. I don't. Maybe he doesn't focus on his persona enough to be able to. Like he's
like
not.
his style DNA.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Like
like like you have these figureheads. So you got Nigo. You got for even Jerry Lorenzo, Salehi. You got these figureheads that are just like, all right, this is the guy. I want to follow him. Even uh
it's
fucking
super. If you throw
yeah, like
Chrome,
yeah,
if you threw Chrome and
exactly,
Supreme, it would
exactly.
look like yeah, it would look
Well,
a
and
certain
see,
way.
and that's the thing. If you had somebody like that over there, but essentially what Tremaine is doing, even with Denim Tears, I'm not mad at it, but a lot of what he's doing to Denim Tears is ripping old Ralph and
Yeah,
putting.
recycled Ralph. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not mad at it because if he could be the African Americana, like he
yeah,
can put he could give me
and
the
I would
the, the
prefer it.
the nice flag with the red
The
and
pan, the
green
pan,
with the
the
Pan
Pan
African
African flag.
colors on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm not
I
I'm
would
not I'm not
prefer
mad
it.
at it at
You
all.
know, personally, I actually was just looking. Personally, I was just looking at the sweater yesterday.
Sale
I
drop
was
is on
looking
sale.
at. No, no, it's not on sale. Hell no. But it's still on
ain't
the
going ain't
website.
going on sale.
Yeah, no, hell, not that one. But honestly, I figured because it's just sitting around, I figured people would probably have it on Grail for cheaper. Not really. So
Nah,
you might as
LeBron
well
wore it.
just yeah. But but yeah, it's funny because I was thinking about it and I was like, so like you were saying, you just slap Supreme on everything, but does Supreme need a creative director?
No, I like,
Because the direction is what the direction is, and what's the direction's been.
and I guess you need somebody to just talk to, like, hey, I am so and so representing. So, like, I guess that's what you need. But they don't need a creative director. They don't do anything.
It's a team of motherfuckers that do that.
Like it doesn't make it just yeah no I like that's the thing. It's like I guess you need a guy to make decisions. Does he
Yeah,
need to be in the forefront?
say
Nah,
yes or
I don't.
no.
Yeah, it's like, do we need to know who that is? No. And if
I'm
you really just need a guy to say yes or no, then just have a guy to say yes or no. We don't need to know who it is. It's just that simple. You're not
before him,
doing anything special.
it was the people that are over Noah.
And Noah's a good thing.
Yeah, the
Noah's a
guy
great
the
brand.
the guy that started Noah with his wife, he was a CD at Supreme prior to. Um, but but yeah, I don't know. I don't care. I will tell you this. I'm a bigger fan of Supreme now than I've ever been,
Hmm.
and mostly just because they it doesn't seem like they care about like the money or even the hype to some extent. Like
It's making
if
shit.
you get to the website when you need to get there, then you're probably gonna get what you're looking for. Like it
Hmm.
doesn't feel like and it's still not cheap. Like they've restocked the Air Force Ones today after like I've seen them restock 10 times already. They're still only $118. I'm like, you guys
Yeah.
don't have to do this. And the shirts are still 40. And if you can sell me a $40 shirt, which I just bought the Martine Rose collab with Stussy, and it was only $50. And I was like, Martine Rose is usually $300. Hey,
Hey,
we'll take it.
maybe this streetwear shit really works. Like,
That's
we'll
what
take
that's
it.
what Stussy feels like to me. Like, do they need a creative director? No, it just feels like they have a mode that they're doing. We're gonna drop our World Tour tee every so often. We're gonna collab with somebody, and we're gonna work with Nike.
It's as
And
simple as it gets with when those companies that are just like they're just staple pieces. Like you don't need anybody to do anything for real. Just keep regard. I don't know who the CD or BBC is. They just make the same shit every drop. They don't even do
yeah,
seasons. Every drop, just it's you got an ice cream tee with a cone on it. You get a running dog tee. You're gonna do some multicolored joints. I don't think we really need anybody to helm these brands like in the
yeah,
same way that you know
like higher
these
fashion.
action. Yeah, there's
Where they
there's no
where
there's
they're
no
coming out
there's
with
no
whole
need to.
collections.
Yeah, you're gonna make a plaid shirt that's stitched to 2 different patterns. I did
Which reminds me,
it.
which reminds me, today is dang, this turned into a fashion podcast real fast. Today is the holiday bowl for Fear of God. You mentioned Jerry Lorenzo. This is when he's supposed to be
Mm,
dropping the actual performance line with Adidas. I think Collection 8. I
right.
think some new essential shit. And this is the first time he's ever done a show.
Done a show.
And it's yeah, and it's in LA. And I'm like, their page has been quiet. Nothing was in their stories. I ain't heard a time. They're on the West Coast, so it is 9, it's probably it's 6:30 there. Maybe they're waiting for it. I don't know. But
Does
I'm
Fear of God at this point? Does Fear of God need CD? Make it tan.
you know,
It's like
yeah,
it's
Earth
not like
Earth Earth tone, like the Earth, like they. I love that they do the same color palettes, but then they were like, okay, it's spring, so we gonna throw some pastels. It's summer, so we got some
yeah,
burnt sienna.
yeah,
Like
like
I'm like, you got me again, but you know what?
that.
That
I'm
should
a
be that should go on sale. That should
hey,
be on
there we
PacSun
go.
for like
Bingo.
I got a pair. Oh shit! Damn Siri. Hold on. Hold on.
That's the only thing, bro. It's like certain shit is literally just like this will be here. I know this will
There it is.
be here. I don't need to rush out to go and get this. It'll be there, and it's gonna be on sale. So I'll
I
be
got
there
a
for that.
pair. I got a pair of I think it's either eggshell or off-white fucking essential pants in there that I
Hmm?
just got a couple months ago from PacSun for like $30. I was like, yeah, come on. You can't pass
Hey,
that up.
you can't. I ain't mad at nobody hustle, nobody game. I want everybody to be elevated. So I guess if they need a position, so people can pivot there and springboard into their next career, cool. Those got to be some of the easiest gigs to helm though. Like that, like if you get that spot, it's just like, all right, cool. All I gotta do is not fuck up. Like just go ahead. And I don't even know what the not fuck up is. I really don't know what Tremaine did that anybody else didn't do. I got to then be what like, oh yeah, Supreme didn't do that great underneath him.
To me,
I don't know.
it felt artsier. Like I think, like I said, I got the the loafer with Doc Martin, and I was like, that like they got Doc Martin to make an exclusive model for Supreme. Now I don't know how often that happens, but like
Right.
I have Bape Doc Martens, and it was literally just the same boot that they always do, but throw our camo print on it. So I was like, all right,
Mm,
this is Bape,
I know what you're
this is
talking about.
just
Yeah.
but for Supreme, they like we're gonna make a model just for y'all. Like I don't know if that doesn't feel like we're just slapping Supreme. Like not to say that against what you're
No,
saying,
no.
but like Tremaine is
That's
like
how he
this.
elevated it.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like Supreme that we're used to. This is kind of special, you know.
Right.
So I don't and I could be ignorant to the fact like maybe Supreme's been doing super dope shit like that, but all I ever saw was like Pez dispensers and Andes clippers and kayaks
Which you
and money
don't
guns and
need.
you know
But you don't need anybody to tell you to do it. It's just, hey, it's like you need somebody to say, hey, guys, go out there and have fun. You need Russell Westbrook to say, no matter what happens, have fun. That's what you need.
leg
Shout out
sleeve.
to
Remember JR wore the leg sleeve.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And once again, staying on fashion. It's Crocs went ahead and gave our boy the job. So they went ahead and what the Echo, whatever Echo Crocs or whatever. So the Crocs that they
Oh, the
made to look like
Pollock,
his Crocs, but yeah, there we
the
go. There
Pollock.
we
Yeah,
go. But
yeah.
I don't, because his is called the Pollux, right? His is called the
Yeah.
Pollux, right?
Oh, you're saying he's heading another division, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
he's had another division,
Okay, got
and
you.
it's like, but it's the ones that look like his shit.
Okay.
That when everybody was like, "Hey, nigga, you gonna let this stand?" And he was like, "Y'all chill. I appreciate y'all, but just relax." And it's like,
He
"Oh,
took a
okay."
beating, and then they were like,
Oh, all right, cool. There you
he
go.
went in
That's
there
how you
like
do it.
Ice Cube. That's he went in there like Ice Cube at Priority
Just
Records
start pulling
with a
shit
bat.
down.
It's like so we didn't want to have this conversation again. And then a few months later, he's named a CD. He's like, all right, let's see. I respect your
All right.
gangster. I am obsessed with Salehi. Salehi can't do anything wrong. Anything Salehi puts his hands on is
He ain't missed
gold.
yet.
Uh,
He ain't missed yet.
I'm wearing everything that he. I got his vest in my grailed wish list right now. He can't do no wrong
Trying to
to
get
me
some
ever
mossy
since.
pants.
Yeah, the crop joints and the fucking vest. Ever since he worked with Ye on the season 3, and then I realized that I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
all the shit
you're
I
the
love.
reason I like those.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you're doing all this shit that
Hmm.
I remember us talking about the chain reactions a long time ago.
Them
Like
shits were crazy.
that shit was the soul with the chain, the Cuban. I was like, this nigga is crazy. And the stupid callback, but he gets arrested outside of Versace, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, I fucking
uh,
work here. Like, they know where you work at. He probably
yeah.
he probably has Donatella's phone
This
in
is
his
my
phone,
shoe.
and she arrested
Incredible.
him outside. And he was on I was supposed to say Xbox Live. He was on Instagram Live, and yeah, you could work at Versace and not just be in retail, like design shit.
We don't know what to tell you guys. We don't know what to tell you. There's no escape. There's no escaping it.
Man,
Uh
got sad again. Got sad again.
shit.
But
We
no,
got what do we have next? I think we can
we
pivot
got to go
into
to
Frank. What were you gonna say?
Okay. I was gonna say, what's his name? David Cho.
Oh
Who?
yeah. Let's get to Pervy Sage. Uh
Yeah,
so David Cho show. He's on the new show, Series Beef. That's critically acclaimed.
yeah.
It's
I
doing
heard it was really
numbers.
good.
It's looking good. The merch is looking good on A24 site as what I like as always. Yeah. So that's enough praise for that. Yeah, Mr. Cho was on a pod a few years back talking about
Yeah.
sexually assaulting a black woman, and how the act made his dick hard, and not the act of sexually assaulting her, because of course his dick was hard for that, but the act of talking about it is making is making his dick hard.
Like
So
he recanted and was, or he reminisced.
yeah, exactly. And the gallery of Asian men were inquiring of said woman's beauty and her breast size, and it's just like, oh yeah, y'all was on one. Shout out to the Asian lady in the room who was telling everybody like, hey, y'all know he just like admitted to being a rapist, right?
Yeah,
To which he
yeah.
said, a successful one. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It seems like we're missing each other somewhere. I don't know what to make of it. He said, so it happened a few years back, and then it was brought up a few years ago. Um,
Yeah.
it was brought up a few years ago, and to which he said, "I was just joking." Which
Yeah.
you know, pre Cosby, I guess you could say you could pull a Donald Trump locker room talk, but nah, nah. Nah, go ahead and
Yeah,
come
man.
forth, woman, whoever he's talking about. Go ahead, come forth. Go ahead, get him locked up because we got him. We got him in. We didn't have 4K then, but we got him in 1080 for sure.
I I thought it was interesting that I'd be saying all the time, like, man, I can't have shit. Like, we can't have shit without it being attached. And yeah, maybe it would be easier if I just was ignorant to shit, like most people are. But like, man, nothing is sacred. Like I actually heard the clip, and yeah, that didn't sound like a joke. Like, I mean, and even if it was a joke, like, I don't know how old the gentleman is. I don't even know what he looks like. But like, you're talking, it was 2014, 2015, not even 10 years ago. Like, he thought it was like okay to say stuff like that. Like, I understand like shock value, but like, I don't know, maybe the rules was different. But
The
like, I
rules,
don't know when. I don't know what that
Bruh,
would have made it like funny. I don't know if that would have made it funny to me, but I guess I'm a different nigga. I don't know.
it's literally something that you hear kids joking about, and you tell them that's not funny.
Yeah.
Like it's juvenile to where it's like, yeah, no. Even back then, that was still around the time where uh there was a lot of things shifting at the time, because that's when um you could use rape as a term to describe it. You're describing somebody taking advantage, but what you're describing is like, oh, a team basically raped another team when they blew them
Or
out on the
or
scoreboard.
like sneaker reselling.
Bingo. So it was a
Yeah.
term, we use synonymously with
Oh, you got
being
hit over
taken
the
advantage
head.
of. Yeah, which is crazy. like once you break it down and now we have to use other words for this because we realize this isn't funny and these things shouldn't be synonymous. And the other words that we come up with is taking advantage of, hit over the head. Like, it's just like, y'all, this isn't a thing that we ever should have been accustomed to. We ever should have been doing. Um, but at the same time, I think David Cho is like late 40s, early 50s. So we're 10 years removed. You're late 30s, early 40s. That's not okay. Like, there's no even, I was just a kid. Nah, bro. We not doing. We not. No. And of course, there's a deeper level to it because I, this is where my mind goes. I just remember when the Stop Asian Hate shit was going on, and black people just was like, "Fuck, we stop." How they get a bill? And of course, there was more to it, but on its face, it's one of those things where it's like, that's what you guys pushed the bill as. There was more in the bill. That's what you pushed
Yeah.
the bill as. So it's just like, there's never been a Stop Black Hate bill. There's never been a campaign to be like, hey, what's going on between black people and Asian people? Or there's never been a campaign of like, hey, we need to address, the schism between these two. The whole Stop Asian Hate shit was like, oh, black people are doing this to us. Black people are doing this to us. And this is like, the fuck is going on? We have this thing now to where we got y'all on video from 10 years ago talking about raping a black woman. And it's just like, that's where my mind is like, I'm rattling this shit around my head because I was one of the ones that was like, man, hey, we need to stop Asian hate.
Yeah.
We have to look after them because we would need somebody to look after us. It's the right thing to do. We have to look after
Yeah.
them. We have to, be in their corner because it's just the right thing to do. But now it's looking like, well, why am I'm and the thing is, I'm still gonna check my people when stuff like this comes up. But
Got to.
why
Got
is it
to.
that
Yeah.
I'm in a room, if something crazy comes up, and it's never been to this level, but even just if to the level of like funny accents and whatever, like, I'm checking my people. I'm, holding myself to account when I be having these moments, and y'all are out here just casually discussing raping a black woman. It's just
Yeah.
like, nah, this doesn't make any sense because we're not all doing our fair part. And your fair
Yeah.
part doesn't start in front of people. If you're not willing to even, you know, defend who should be your ally, uh, you're not even willing to defend black people in a public platform like a podcast. What are y'all doing behind closed doors? What are y'all saying
Yeah.
about us? Like, what's really good? And it's just like, nah, this is where, like, beyond him being a sicko, the race relations of it all is just like, I, who can we trust? Who can
Yeah.
we trust? Like, what is going on?
To the point where like I almost feel like if it had happened to anyone else, does he even get a Netflix show? Like,
Uh, Bingo.
yeah, that
This isn't a thing where a black person is gonna just casually admit to raping somebody and they just pop up later on with a Hulu. He has a Hulu show. I was a fan of the Hulu show.
oh, it's
I didn't
not it's
realize
not oh
no,
wait.
he's on the Netflix show. He has a
Oh,
Hulu. He
okay,
has his
yeah.
own show. That's kind of like this.
Oh,
Think of like Bob Ross, the painting, because he's a
yeah.
painter. So he has his like painting show, but it's like Bob Ross meets Andrew Bourdain, where he's spitting these philosophies on life and everything while he's painting and blah 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 blah. And it's just like it's a really nice show, but you are an admitted rapist. I'm not. Am I wrong for holding you to your own words, even though you've come back out and recanted them? Of course you would recant them. You admitted to raping somebody. You're supposed to come back out and be like, "Oh no, I was just playing, y'all." Like that's not how that works. That's not how that works, and it's tough to give you that pass when you were so cavalier about it, and your cast members on the pod, not your cast members, but your fellow, podcasters who are on that show with you, they didn't really hold you accountable, except for our friend, the woman who was just like, you guys are really weird. Like,
You know who the woman was?
oh, oh no,
It
it was
was
Aquafina.
no.
Oh, I was like,
It was
oh,
another famous Asian, Asa Akira.
our beloved
Shout out
sister.
to Asa Akira.
Hey, thank, hey, thank you.
For your service.
we appreciate you.
More wins than
Hey,
one.
she's holding it down on all fronts. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her, an ally.
Oh
I just looked
man,
him up because I was like I didn't know who the guy was, and I think I've seen his face before. But then I looked up like his filmography and shit that he's on, and I saw the podcast, and I was like, "Oh, I've seen that name before."
I swear to God, bro, if BD Wong from Doctor Strange, if he pop up with some shit, bro, I'm throwing everything, bro. Like I
we,
can't take it. I can't
yeah,
take it.
we end the podcast how we started. We started it the same way. Like, what else do we have left? It's just
uh
going crazy.
yeah, man, that's the thing, guys. If you haven't learned yet, we're gonna try to be honest with you all about these situations. There's no need to joke about any of these things. There's no need
Yeah,
to disrespect the women before we give you the advice to stay away from a certain kind of woman. We're just gonna tell you to just respect all of them. First
yeah.
and foremost, don't commit any crimes against them. Definitely
Yeah,
don't go bragging about said crimes.
that's
Don't
fair.
step on anybody's chest.
Yeah,
Uh, what else? What else? What else? I mean, I don't want to say don't go
but
ring a doorbell. You should be able to do that. You should be in the clear for that. Just be safe. Um, keep your head on a swivel. I
don't
guess I don't know. Step
don't you
two
start
paces
your show
back.
an hour late.
Hmm.
That's the last thing. That's the last thing,
Yeah.
really.
Don't start your show an hour late. Don't change your set uh right before. Don't make Coachella melt your ice rink before you go on.
You know,
Um
I don't want to be on the side of Coachella because it's probably people that don't look like Frank Ocean. But
that's facts.
um, I will say that this seems that I've seen this 2 or 3 times before, where Coachella is losing a headliner. You would think that their contract or their shit would be like more ironclad, where niggas just like leave for whatever reason. Like they just be like, "Fuck it, I'm just not gonna do it," and
well,
and then
well, see,
and they're like, we'll just put somebody else in there.
the thing, the guys, so the people that I think of when it comes to bailing on Coachella is our
It's
guy,
Kanye.
that guy. And that's really it. But not to say that they haven't been others, but it's definitely been a recurring headline more recently where it's just like, because honestly,
But who
was
stepped in
Frank
for
one?
him? Travis.
I think so.
And then
Oh,
the weekend took over for somebody.
we need a producer. We need somebody to come in, fact, and pull up these things for us in the middle of the show. But yeah, no, for sure, they definitely had their share of people headliners pulling out, and it's just like,
And Frank, it was one, and then now Blink 182 is taking over for the
and who
second
wants
weekend.
to, who wants to see? You know, if I was gonna sit in the front all day to see Frank, I'm not gonna do that for Blake. And there might be some people out there, but I think the demo for Coachella is like the top end of the spectrum is 35. So I don't know if
Yeah.
they're staying to catch Blink 182. But Frank's got some stuff going on, man. I guess he's still, you know, there was an article about him grieving his brother still, and that's one of the things where it's like, as bad as I want to tell him, hey man, get over it. You can't, you know, you can't do that. It's not the
You
same as
know,
sports where you can be
you
like,
know,
well, if
I
you were
wouldn't even
out there, nigga,
say
play.
I wouldn't even say that, but I almost feel kind of like that a little bit. Like not that he should get over it. Like there is no time for that.
I,
But
but
I
like the
almost
only
feel
way, go ahead.
but I almost feel like, all right, and I know it sounds insensitive, but like that happened then. If you're not right, just probably even don't even do it. Like
That's
chill
what
out.
it is.
Like
That's really what it is.
like
It's like either you doing this, pushing through and doing it, you know, maybe possibly will be therapeutic for you. If you don't, you know, think so, or if you're just not ready yet, be honest with yourself and just be like, no, I can't do it, and
And
don't even
then
sign
another
up.
thing is, what the fuck does that have to do with set design? And like, I don't want to be mean or anything, but that, like,
That was the
why?
bail that everybody was shooting them. So I was just going with the bail.
Oh,
I don't know what the
okay,
fuck I.
okay. So that, oh, well,
And he was talking about, you know, XYZ, and he used to come here to with his brother and everything, which is all valid, and you know
I
that's
buy that.
why these
I
things
buy
mean
that.
so much. But at the same time, like you said, what does that have to do with sex now? Um, I don't know. It's the same. And then I think there was one story I've never seen so much like press to be like, oh no, don't he's all right, he's all right. Like he twisted his ankle apparently in a biking incident before the show.
Mhm.
So he was seated most of the show apparently, and it's just like, well, this is
And then the
why,
live
you
stream.
know, he pulled the live stream before, and it's just like we don't need this. Like we don't need this, and it's not even a respectability thing or a black thing. It's just like, look, y'all, we want artists who want to be artists. We want artists. I, I don't necessarily that want to be superstars, that want to be on in the front of things. We don't want them to be dickheads and be assholes or whatever. But we want artists to want to do the job. Like there are so many people who want to do this job, and you guys just get these opportunities because you guys are so wonderfully talented. Like nobody's taking any of that away from you, but you get these opportunities, and to see them just be like, oh well, yeah, I didn't want that stage anymore, and it was taking too long. Like it's like, come on, guys, like what are we really doing? Like people took off work, paid their hard-earned money, sat up here in the front of this stage to see you put on a show. Whether it was premiere new music, you don't have to premiere new music if you don't want to, but at least perform the old shit to the maximum of your capabilities. That doesn't seem like it would be too hard. It's tough though because everybody's not going to give you a Beachella. Everybody's not going to
and
give you
that's
that 2011 Kanye shit.
and that's where the whole streaming shit lost me because like, all right, at least if you gonna give us some bullshit, at least I want to watch it. Like if I can't make it out to Cali,
Yeah,
like I was still niggas was
doesn't make
watching
any
it
sense,
on
bro.
people's Instagram streams. Like this how I gotta watch the Frank shit, and they was mad at
We
Coachella, and it was like apparently the call was made for Frank like an hour before. Like yo, we not
that
streaming my shit.
and that's where I'm like, of course, you never want to side with the conglomerate. You never want to side with the head.
The
You'd
establishment.
always, yeah, you don't want to side, but it's just like, guys, like we're not shooting, we're not giving ourselves, we're not doing these ourselves any favors. And once again, artists, we're not doing ourselves any favors because there's white artists that do the same shit, and it's just like, bro,
Yeah.
this is OD, man. Like, just either do the show or don't. Like, it goes down to the basic principles of let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. So if you're gonna do it, then do it. If you're not gonna do it, then don't. If you put on a shit show because you are, you know, here and in the moment, and you're now overcome with emotion and grief about you know the tragedy that happened, okay, cool. That adds to the show. if for whatever reason you just don't want to do it, a week before, a couple hours before, I'm sorry. Like you're gonna do it. Like I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing where you feel like you're not gonna be able to. At least gives us the same thing when for those that still work in the office. Or I don't know how it works when you're working remote. How much of a notice do they request before you call out or before you like take a day?
If it's like sick shit, obviously it's just like the time before. But like
Right.
the way my shit works currently is like we have a calendar and you can see if there's open days. So usually there's nothing open the week of or the month of really.
Right.
But we also get it like a year in advance. So like I can start putting in days for 2024 right now. So like if you got a good relationship with your manager, maybe you could get it the week of.
You can
But
squeeze one
like
in.
yeah, like honestly, and that's like I said, you got to have a good relationship. Like I have a pretty decent relationship with my manager. If I needed something like next week, or I'm sorry, not, like tomorrow, then I could tell her. But I probably would just take the time off anyways. Like I would just call in sick. But like Alex has like a little small procedure that she has to do on the 28th, and today's the 19th. Like me just being courteous, I'm gonna message her tomorrow and be like, "Hey, can I get the 28th off so I can take her there? She'll get loopy off meds and then take her home." So like, yeah, you need some
like
you need some
like
time in between, not the day before, not even an
and
hour
right and,
before.
and right now, even with me in the education system, we have to, if it's gonna be a day of thing, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not like it's you do that, like you get up, it's not a thing of like we're supposed to be here at 8, you calling me at 8:15, like, hey, or we supposed to be here at 8, you calling me at 9. The first we trying to figure out, wait, you coming, and it's like, oh yeah, my bad, I ain't got it today. Like, at least give us the courtesy of 7 o'clock when you woke up and you was
Yeah,
like, I'm not feeling it. Like it's just one of these things where it's like,
fuck
bro,
that ice
don't
drink.
yeah, like, come on, dude. Like, just give the people a show, bro. It's all we ask. You signed up for it. You gave us your art as a commodity. Um, you don't have to perform if you do not want to. So, but that bag is there, and the bag is there.
Ooh, there it is.
So, what you're gonna do is sign up to perform, and then be like, yeah, maybe not. Like, don't pump fake. Just don't be the artist that drops music and never performs. That's fine.
Yeah,
We'll take it. We will take it. like if they're we take it from way worse artists. Like, we take it from artists lower on the rung. You know, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You don't need that back. You'll get it back in streams. I mean, it's gonna take you some time, but you'll get there. If it's
yeah,
anything like Blonde, we'll stream for years to come. So
that's a fact. Well, I think we pretty much went through everything. That's week 6. Blind spots.
yes,
Don't
sir.
be afraid to listen again and subscribe and do the best that you can to get around your own blind spots, because them shits is a motherfucker at times. You driving those big, sometimes our brain like them thick ass Camaros, man. You just can't see out that window. You can't see someone sitting right there. And you get mad at them because you trying to transfer over lanes when you probably should have turned the neck. So sometimes you got wide ass caboose and you just can't see the shit behind you. Just do the best that you
Sometimes
can to look out that window, because it's a
try,
matter of life and death at times. So
try.
there's that. Come back again next week. Deuces.